Hello, my wonderful collective. I hope you're all doing really well. It's really good to have you here, and I'm really sorry I haven't uploaded recently. I've not been inspired, friends. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been inspired to do any readings, and not only that, I've just been utterly exhausted. I've been looking at the transits that have been going on. How are you guys feeling? How are you all feeling at the moment? So I was just browsing through some other readers, and I just thought to myself, right, you know what? I got some ideas for some readings. So I think just an important message that's really meant to find you, and an important message that the universe wants you to know right now. I got the idea from a wonderful reader called Moon Moth Goddess. She has an incredible channel called Neptune's Child Tarot, where she does like not normal readings, everything but love readings, and then on her main Moon Moth Goddess channel she does love readings. So I got this idea from her. So thank you so much, Monique. You are one of the most amazing readers. I do love your readings. So this is a message the universe wants you to know right now. Okay, so this is the pile choices. That's pile 1. Pile 2, a message the universe wants you to know right now. Quite a few by the looks of things. Let's have another go. Okay, that's pile 2, and then we're going to take that for pile 3. So, a message the universe wants you to know right now. And for the crystal choices, we have Carnelian for pile 1. For pile 2, we have this orbicular jasper, and pile 3 and pile 3 we have this indigo gabbro. That's what it's called, indigo gabbro. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Pile 1, hello and welcome to your reading. So we have this beautiful carnelian that was gifted to me. Beautiful carnelian. I think there's a sense of like accepting certain flaws that you may have in terms of your creation. So you might be wanting to get on with some kind of project, or there might be something about some project that you are wanting to do, but then you're kind of worried that there are some things that are not perfect. So you're like worried that these kind of imperfections are going to affect your kind of sense of creation, or they're going to affect the final product. Now, I mean, I looked at this stone and I felt it was like a beautiful overall stone, and you know, it just feels so beautiful and tactile and smooth. The kind of things here, you can see these beautiful, like when it's not like reflecting from the light, you can see these gorgeous like inclusions from the black that's in there, and also just from, you know, just like chips and stuff. It's kind of made it what it is. It's made the beauty of the stone, the fact that it's like different shades of orange as well. You've got this gorgeous like graduation here of the white to the, oh shit, sorry. I held it like I was looking at it. You've got these gorgeous inclusions here, gorgeous kind of graduation to the deeper orange. So there are just so many things within this piece of stone that give it its beauty, and I think that the universe is asking you to appreciate every part of this thing that has culminated to this point right now, because you may not be doing that. Rebirth. Okay. It's reversed. I will read it reversed, but let's just take a look at it upright. So rebirth is number 1616 is the sign of the tower. Then we also have, you know, obviously, again, interesting how we have this orangey colour that goes to the black. And then you do eventually get to the white, but it doesn't actually like fade out to it. You do have it out here, but that's really interesting. We have those carnelian colours, that orange sacral coloured chakra. So it feels like, and I would take this as the the Tower reversed, almost like you're starting with things that you have used before and you're just worried about how they're going to play out right now. And what the universe is kind of saying to you is that the reason why this feels really uncomfortable is because this is a sort of rebirth for you. It really is. You may not feel like it's a rebirth. You may think that it's, you know, that you're trying to start something. Some of you may be trying to start something. If you're not, and this isn't a major part of your life right now, this may not be your pile, so please feel free to check another pile or maybe another reader. But right now, this thing that you are doing is a form of rebirth for you. It's not like an outright rebirth because it's almost like you've done the thing before, but it's a new way of doing it, or like it almost feels like you are starting again. So let's have a look at what the tarot wants to say, because yeah, let's have a look. A message meant to find my pile ones. What does the universe want my pile ones to hear right now? What does the universe want my pile ones to hear right now? Because I feel that there's a resistance here. There's a resistance. And I really do feel like from the darkness, there is like an emergence into the light. But there is also this sense of thinking, I feel like there is like, well, I've done this before, so why am I doing it again? Or it's like, oh, is this really a rebirth? Am I just not going over the same thing over and over again? And I don't know, I feel like it's maybe causing you not to have as much optimism as you would normally have about a project. Maybe a little bit of despondency. Yeah. Let's have a look at what the cards want to say, but that's what I'm getting so far. Cards want to say quite a bit, apparently. Okay, so we have the Six of Buttons, which is the Six of Pentacles. Is it reversed? No. Is it reversed? No, it's not reversed. Seven of Cups. Okay, interesting. So you're in your head quite a bit about this. That's too many. Divine Fate. Okay, this is an extra card that comes with this deck. I do love it when the extra cards come out. Because when the extra card comes out, it makes me think that this is why I needed to use this deck. Spirit, I just need two more. I'm only going to have two more, my darlings. Two more. Six of Buttons, Seven of Cups. The unknown. The unknown. Right, okay. Thank you. The Emperor. Right, okay. Reversed. Domination. I love it. Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay, right. I see what's going on. You're trying to control. There's a way of like... Okay, two things. You're either trying to control the outcome of something where, you know, you feel like you've done it before and you feel like you should really know the outcome. I feel like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself as well. But actually, there's a sense where you're really needing to place faith, and I don't know, there's some real mistrust here. It's because there is that need to place faith, and you're like, well, I've done that. I've tried to do that before, and it hasn't really worked. Because we've got these. I mean, I would take this as a major arcana. So we've got 3 out of 5 major arcana. So there is a real need to trust the unknown. I don't know if this is certain patterning and conditioning that's going on from the past that you're like you're trying to break through, to be honest with you. It feels like that. It feels like there's a need to work through something that you've been trying to get rid of, I feel. But in a way, because you've been working on that sense of like letting go of control, you're actually inadvertently controlling it. Does that make sense? So it's almost like what's the word? It's a contradiction. It's a real contradiction. It really is about letting yourself trust what's going on. And I think that the key is here is that, you know, you have to be... It's really interesting. This card is really confusing me because how I read this card reversed is how I would read it, is what it's telling me upright. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. There's just some things here. So that's also interesting because it may be that something is telling you and like your instincts are telling you one thing, but actually the reality is telling you something different. What you want to believe is telling you something different, and yeah, what you want to believe is not happening. But yeah, the reality is just so kind of far removed from that you're finding it hard to kind of make it come together, and there's a sense of like really wanting to control the outcome of it because things haven't worked out the way that you wanted it to. But I'm not gonna lie, I think things have changed for some reason. Like they have changed, and it's been a real rocky kind of thing that's happened. It's not been, oh, this is like some glorious change. I mean, to be fair, like when is it? When is it some like, you know, oh, this is amazing. I mean, like, not to say that things don't happen, you know, that aren't great and positive, because they do. It's just like, I'm like, you know, I've got Mars in Virgo, so I'm going to be like quite discriminatory. Sorry, I was just trying to switch the light on, but I think I've got myself in a bit of a pickle. But sorry for the shaky camera. But I think it's just important to keep the faith, in the words of John Bon Jovi. Keep the faith. And I don't know, I'm feeling like this actually, you know, there's something for me to see here, like in terms of like the reverse. It's not a fantasy. It is actually believing in possibilities. So I think there's just got to be a positive outlook where previously you've been let down. And it's really important for you to make sure that you are being kind to yourself in that respect. Yeah. Because I don't think that you're being fair to yourself here. I think the Six of Buttons reverse. The Six of Buttons is about you and about how you are to yourself, and also about the external situations, but more so about yourself. Like, I mean, yeah, it is a reflection because the external situations are kind of influencing the way you are being towards yourself. But I think it's really important for you to remember about these possibilities, and to remember that these patterns of behavior in terms of how you react to yourself are not necessarily yours, actually. They are conditioning from past generations. The Emperor wouldn't turn up if it was just to do with you. If it was just to do with you, it might be a king or a queen or something. There would be different cards. You know, the way I read, my loves, is that I always consider whether or not there is a different card that can tell me what I want to know. And then I know what card is telling me what. So you've got impacted Aries energy. You've got like... I'm just trying to think any other star signs. The thing is, right, Aries energy. Okay, so I mean, you know, in terms of the kind of energy of Aries, if Aries is not directed in a positive way, it can be very destructive. Either destructive, I would say. Destructive. Not so much passive, more destructive, and restrictive, controlling, rigid. So you have to let yourself be free a bit. The universe wants you to get your head out of this space. It needs you to get your head like out of the place where it's just like kind of trying to control everything that's going on. Okay, let's have a little look at some clarification with this. Clarification on the Six of Buttons. The Queen of Pentacles. Seven of Cups is clarified by the Four of Wands. Okay, you need to dream. You need to believe in your dreams. As this reading goes on upright, as this reading is uploaded, or when I'm uploading this reading, it's near about my birthday, my solar return. So like, and I read in my solar return, there's this need to really believe in your dreams. Like, I think it's particularly with the aspects of like Neptune at the moment. So, and I think I mentioned it also when I did the moon group as well, when I was reflecting on the astrology. I think it's really important to believe in your dreams at this time. It's strong to do so. The unknown, yeah, Nine of Wands. I mean, let's face it, right? There is fear here. There is fear because when you don't know what's going on and, you know, you're a little bit older, sometimes it is more difficult than when you were younger to lose any kind of, you know, to just go for it. We do get more fearful as time goes on. Okay, we've got the Devil. Yeah, there's a real obsession here with controlling what's going on and needing to know what's happening. Okay, it's not healthy, pile one. Need to sort that out. Ten of Swords reversed. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is not the past. This is a very different situation. And the thing is that, oh, that's really interesting. I can just see like the keywords. So the keywords I'm seeing is generosity, which is really interesting for the Queen of Pentacles. Possibilities, the Four of Wands, divine faith, the Nine of Wands, control, the Devil, and then we have misfortune, which is here with the Ten of Swords reversed. So I think there is a real need for you to let go of the past so that you can like take these chains off and be able to just walk away. Now, what's really interesting is that usually with this one here, oh God, sorry. Whoop. Usually with like this one here, the chains are like with this Devil, the chains are usually quite wide around the person's neck. Here they're a little bit tight. They're a little bit tighter. I think it would be a little bit more difficult for this person to like, or these people to like come or get away. So, and because the male one looks a little bit tighter than the female one, the female actually looks a little bit less tight. She looks like she can move away. So it's almost like you feel like you're a slave to what you need to do in order to get something done, rather than like really allow your intuition to guide you fully. Now, we don't have any cups here. So your emotions are not really playing any kind of role here. We don't even have any cups like, well, we do have the Seven of Cups, but it's kind of allowing yourself to dream, I think, is going to be a really important part of this. And also because we've got 7 reversed as well, it's a difficult time. Like, I'm not going to lie, it's a difficult time to be able to allow yourself to recognize that you do deserve these things. But I do also think that it's really important for you to remember that they can be possible. So what the universe needs you to hear, wants you to hear, is really on my case to like get to you, is that, you know, there is a real possibility for you to be the person that you are in the best possible way, even though right now it seems like a really tough time to do so. And don't sweat like the stuff where you think that you're gonna, you know, that you need to kind of, you really feel like you need to get things done. There is a bit of an obsession with control, and where you are feeling that you're being obsessive about a sense of control within your situations is where you need to take stock of what's happening. Bottom of the deck is the 10 of Cups. I mean, like, pile 1, happiness is waiting for you right now. It's actually round the corner waiting for you, but I don't know, you're kind of almost in a way like choking yourself and stopping yourself from being able to receive the good fortune that you're able to, that is out there for you. It's really waiting for you to come forward, because you truly deserve it at this time. And I do understand that there is a lot of fear about it, so whatever you need to do, like, I think you need to kind of, you know, kind of maybe just chill out a bit with that. So, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do another, like, thing with that. Oh, sorry. Let me just do this. It's the nudie bits. The nudie bits! Right, okay, there we go. There, that's done. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these cards, because this is what the situation was previously. And then I'm going to have a look at how we can, like, kind of get over these, move into these spaces, and then we can move on to your oracle. I feel like I want to do a little bit more tarot. Also because I really like these cards. Okay, so how does pile 1 move into this space where they can fully embody these things, apart from this, and get over this? Not be so obsessed. Could you please clarify the Queen of Pentacles, please? Okay, that's only just like that. So that's the 7. The Devil, please. King of Wands, thank you for being so cool. Right, so that's interesting, actually. Alright, so you've got, like, there's definitely, like, a lot of afflicted masculine energy here, pile 1. The Emperor reversed, the Devil, the King of Wands reversed. I encourage you to find out what your motivation is, like what your true motivation is. That's interesting. So we've got the, yeah, see, look, that's so interesting. So the 7 of Cups got clarified by the 4 of Wands, which is again clarified by the 7 of Cups. That's a strong message there. And then we've got the 9 of Wands being clarified by the 6 of Swords, and then we've got the Ace of Swords. Okay, there's wow, a lot of thinking, action, and Pentacles. This is primarily about your future. I don't really think that this is anything to do with, like, relationships or anything like that. This is to do with a project, big time. What I mentioned at the beginning. And then we have, okay, and then we have the Page of Cups. So what I'm thinking here, pile 1, is that you really need to really believe in your dreams. You do. You may even need to take the time out to clarify your dreams. Make them something that is concrete. I know that sounds really weird, but it's like, I encourage people around me and also my clients to write down their dreams, to write down their journeys, to write down anything that happens within the liminal space, so that we can encourage that to become concrete. You know, and for us to really heed the message that's coming from those visions or whatever it is that we're doing. It could be meditation, could be astral traveling, could be journeying, anything. Whatever you do, whenever you're dealing with stuff in that liminal space and you write things down, something strange happens, like something really interesting happens. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm just journaling my dreams, yeah, and that's just a hippie thing to do. No, it's like more about you really paying attention to that part of your subconscious and not just letting that run away, because by the time you revisit that, it's not if you don't write it down, then sometimes you just kind of lose it. So, and I think what's going on here is that there may also be a sense that you're not feeling that it's really important. You're feeling like there's other things that you need to attend to, when actually this is the part of the subconscious that needs to actually have that attention. That's why the Page of Cups turned up at the end, because it's almost like you are a sense of being, it's not quite a mature sense. You need to like kind of regrow that part of yourself, or retrain that part of yourself, I should say. Seven of Pentacles here with the Queen of Pentacles. I don't think you're fully satisfied with what's going on, and I think that's why you're in this space. So I'll give you an example. You might have like a business idea that you want to take forward, and you want to do this, but you're worried about finances. So, you've got a job, you're doing a job and you're doing something, but what you want to do, and you're earning okay money, but you know that really where your heart is in this idea, but you don't have that much money. So you're like, oh, maybe I should like kind of like stick with that and like continue to earn money. And that's what's going on here. Like there's some misguided energy. And I don't know if like this obsession with that kind of like way of thinking is stopping you from being able to like fully step into the King of Wands in its exalted state. With it being reversed, the King of Wands is quite egotistical, is almost like the shadow side of self. So you may be showing some shadow aspects because you're kind of maybe so stressed out at this other job, but really you want to be doing this other thing because you're meant to be doing that. It's almost like as well, another example is that if you're stuck in a job and you know that you're completely overqualified for it, but yet you can see like the politics within this particular job, and you can see that other people are getting favored even though they don't do their job as good as you, or like, you can see that it's very much a favoritism thing, or like there's just some inconsistencies that are happening at work that don't seem to be getting addressed, and it's making you like not be very good, like not be very nice, not be very great at all. In fact, it's like kind of like working against you. And the thing is that the King of Wands is like a really powerful force. It's not the Knight of Wands, it's not the Queen of Wands, and it's not the Page of Wands, it's the King. So this means that you will be like destroying things in your wake if you're not careful, because of the kind of, there may be a sense of anger that's there where you're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to get on with it. And then that kind of maybe is a little bit detrimental. Do you know what I mean? So there's just something to really take care of there. And then you've also got here with like the Four of Wands and the Seven of Cups. There's just that need to, like, as I said, really believe in your dreams. It's what I mentioned first. I read my cards in whatever order they come in. Well, not order, whatever order they kind of speak to me first. I don't kind of go linearly. But yeah. But it seems like this is the main story at the moment, and these are the kind of like contributing factors to this main story where you need to believe in your dreams. I know it sounds so cheesy, but trust me, this is what's going on right now. Anyway, so and then we've also got this beautiful Six of Swords. I mean, there's a need to move on from the past. A need to move on from what hasn't worked. And I'm not going to lie, like you are doing it. Like you are doing it. There is a process, but I think there is a real need to believe in love. I know it sounds so cheese, but like seriously, there is this need for love and kindness and possibility, and really understanding that can be something true for you. And I think like with the Ace of Swords here, like there's, you've got that clarity of thought. It wasn't as dramatic, or that things, I think you know what to do. I think that's what this is. Like you do know what to do, But you have to remind yourself. There has to be some kind of like mind gym that you put yourself through. The journaling in terms of like noting down your kind of experiences, your dreams, noting those things down, working within the liminal space so that you can really make an idea. And this was really interesting, actually. I came across this the other day. But, you know, at one point, this tarot channel, with all of you amazing subscribers and watchers that are watching this was just an idea. Yeah? This was just like me years ago, or a couple of years ago, not that long ago, saying, oh, maybe I can do a tarot channel. And look at where we are now. So I think the fact that it's an idea, you have to be really mindful of the fact that ideas are super powerful. Everything that you have in your life right now that is of some value was just an idea. So you have to remember like what that idea, like the idea is born from the spark that evolves into something that's really amazing and tangible. So you have to have faith in that, I think. And it's not just blind faith like we saw with that card with the unknown. This is actual, like, you know, you thinking about it logically and thinking, okay, it is possible. It is possible. So there you go, Pile 1. That's what the universe is desperate for you to know. It's like, can you just tell Pile 1, seriously, like, what's going on? Because they're not listening. Energy. This is sapping on your energy. This is sapping on your energy. And when you start to like align yourself to the right thing, then that will change. Isolation. I do also feel like there is a sense of isolation going on. Now, there could be two things. It could be that you need to be isolated in order to come back to the center, which is the first thought, or it could be that you're putting yourself too much in a sense of isolation. So I think there needs to be a balance here, and understanding like what it is exactly that you need, and being mindful of that, really. Okay, so let's have a look at this. This deck has so many different cards in it. It's not just astrology. It's also lots of like, it's months, it's other keywords. So I don't know what's going to come out. Let's see what's happening. October moon. October moon. I'll take that upright. So something important about the October moon will be interesting. October moon. Just to let you know, I don't know, adjust for your times on the planet, but if, for those of you that are interested, October this year, or whenever you decide to watch it, let's have a look. October moon will be, oh, that's interesting. I don't even have it in my diary. So it could be this year, could be any time you're watching this, because this is timeless. So something about the October moon and what phase it's in, what is it doing, something about that. So last card to close out this reading, my beautiful Pile 1s. This has been a cool reading. I don't know, for those of you who watch my readings, my wonderful returning subscribers, God, I love you so much, you know. You make this all so worth it. You will know that I usually resonate with Pile 1. And I've been resonating so hard with this. Usually I want to be Pile 3, but it's Pile 1. Okay, so card to close out this reading. Wow, Flower Child. And that's number 14, so that's the number of temperance. It also goes to the number of the Hierophant. Momentum, creativity, and action. And it says, I hope that over everyone else you learn to make yourself proud. God, I love this deck so much. So, Pile 1. This is what the universe needs you to know right now. It wants you to know. It needs you to know. It's asking you, please listen to me, because Yeah, otherwise I'm going to really make you listen. I hope you enjoyed that reading, pile 1. If you did like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. And do leave a comment and let me know what you thought. Let me, if you'd like to share or care to share, please do. But otherwise, my darlings, have a beautiful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this, and day. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this NOOREENA Jasper, which funnily enough, it's to do with procrastination. I have almost had a lot of time between pile 1 and pile 2's reading, and the procrastination was super real. So there is something that you need to be getting on with that you're not getting on with. Perseverance. Okay, so what I'm feeling is that the universe is saying a really important message, pile 2, is that you need to like keep on at it. You need to keep on like going for whatever it is that you are doing, because it seems like, you know, there's a sense of like giving up, and I totally felt that today. This reading has been so difficult to do. And, you know, I just thought to myself, okay, I've got to do this. I've got to do this reading. Just get on with it. Just do it. You've just got to do the thing. And it's really interesting in our world where now we've got there's amazing resources of the internet and YouTube. I just find myself watching lots of YouTube videos about how to do the thing when really I just need to do the thing. So I think this is what's happening, and you've just got to keep on at it, whether or not it's good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, and you've just got to keep on at it. So let's have a look at what the tarot wants to say about this message that the universe has to get to you, that it really wants to say to you, that it believes that you need to know right now. Okay, so we've got the King of Buttons, which is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, and then we have the Death card. We have the Moon reversed. Okay, right. The Eight of Cups reversed. I think I know what this is. The Knight of Matches, which is the Knight of Wands. Okay, this is like some kind of level of procrastination that is happening here. And it's really interesting because the NOOREENA Jasper is specifically, as I said, about procrastination. But you are basically trying to end patterns which have damaged you in the past. And now you are basically in a space where you're kind of going there, coming back, you're trying to like get rid of it. And I think it's really important that you realize that this isn't all your fault. Like if you think that you procrastinating or not getting on with something is completely your fault, it's not entirely your fault. It may actually be some kind of like black magic that's going on, particularly with the Death card here as well, because it just seems that somebody may be jealous of what you have to offer. So therefore, there's some kind of like sense on trying to stop you from moving forward, because it's actually within your own, it's within your own interest. It's like almost like a natural thing for you to do, to go forward into that space. But here, I'm seeing the word avoidance here. Now, avoidance, I don't usually associate with the Eight of Cups, but it means that you can't usually walk away from something that you're trying to walk away from. But it's almost like you really want to walk away from it. We've also got the word here, oppression, for the Moon reversed. And then we've got confusion and fear. So there's something that's kind of like playing upon that sense of confusion and fear that's causing you to be in a state of you avoiding something. So to me, that says that you can't walk away from something. And I think it's because you're trying to end something. And maybe move into like a bigger space, a better space for yourself, something that's going to really be productive for you. But I don't know, maybe someone's not liking it. Maybe someone's trying to do something where they're not really, where they don't want to see you succeed. I don't think it's self-sabotage. I don't think it's you personally. I think it's to do with this person, or this to do with an external energy. The moon reverse usually for me is external energy that's trying to suppress you in some way, shape or form. So let's have a little look at what this is all about. Pile 2, the message that Pile 2 needs to know. And it seems to me like you are actively trying to walk away from it. There's fantastic cards for you to walk away from it, and actually mentally transforming, going into another space. But then there's something that's, I would go as far as trying to stop you, like particularly with this 8 of Cups. Maybe it's some kind of like, I don't think it's a karmic pattern. It doesn't feel like a karmic pattern. It feels like a really toxic ex-partner. Not that it is, but that's what it feels like. It feels like you're trying to get out of a relationship with something. I don't know if it's with a person. We'll find out. I mean, we do have two court cards, but they're upright, which says to me that these are not like afflicted people. So I don't know, it feels like a toxic situation, that there's been some like, it definitely, it feels a bit black magic-y, if I'm honest. And the only way you can really break out of this is by just persevering and getting it and being really resilient within that, because when you're able to be more resilient in just looking forward and not looking at the negative things, then it works. Okay, so we've got the King of Cups. Wow. So we've got the King of Pentacles clarified by the King of Cups. Okay. We've got the Chariot. Wow. We've got the 8 of Wands reversed. Oh, okay, yeah, this is definitely some kind of... something is stopping you. Something, but it's external. Wow, look at that. The Fool. You really want to make a new beginning with something, but it's just not allowing you to. Yeah, this is something that's infringing your success, basically. Page of Swords. It's somebody who's watching you. I would go as far as to say somebody who's actually quite jealous of you, jealous of what you're doing. Because the thing is that once you get on and you do the thing, which I'm finding like with this reading, because the reading I feel is in itself, in terms of an action, is very indicative of what the reading is. Once I get into it, it's easy. Like it just flows. But then actually just getting started was just a real nightmare. I don't think I've ever procrastinated that much before a reading before. Yeah. Interesting. I want to pull some more cards. I usually would have gotten rid of that, but let's have a look. Okay. Temperance. The only way you're going to break out of this is by continuing to walk the path. Don't get kind of disjointed by anybody. Don't get affected by anybody, or even this reading. Like, I think it's important for you to not get influenced by the fact that, you know, this reading is telling you that there is somebody who might be, even if it is just sending out thoughts that they don't want you to succeed. That is in a way evil eye / black magic. But there is external energy that is trying to sabotage you for some reason. Can you tell me a bit more about that, please? And it's definitely... It's something that's causing you to basically be a little bit obsessive. Or not obsessive, it's almost like looking over your fears. Things that you've already gotten over. Maybe like you think that something's done and then all of a sudden a trauma response, like there'll be a trauma response to something that you thought that you were okay with, or maybe there might be a person that triggers off something, or somebody comes out of the blue, or yeah, something like that. Okay, the Tower. Yeah, that's good. It's gonna be destroyed. So I think that what happens is that now that this is coming to light, that you're understanding that there is this energy that's kind of working against you to stop you from moving forward. I think you'll do your best to make sure that it's completely like gone. It's almost like, sorry for the analogy, but it's almost like a wart. Like you've got to like really remove the root, or like a weed. You've really got to remove the root. Otherwise, it will just continue to keep on growing. So you're realizing that everything has to be completely destroyed. So it might even be a person. It might even be a toxic relationship that you, as I mentioned, like it might be a toxic relationship that you thought that you could be friends with someone, and then actually you can't because they're just too toxic for you. I'm trying to pick these up so that I don't ruin the cards, because they're those kind of cards. Yeah, I was wondering when one of these guys was going to come up. And then I tell you, you're going to find out that you're going to be able to get over this like a lot. But I don't know. There's also a bit of feeling that you can't walk away from this person. It's like, oh, I don't want to walk away from this person, but maybe you've had some kind of like long history with them or something. I don't know, but it just feels like that you can't walk away from this person, or that you're having a bit of a tough time doing so. Excuse me. So the Five of Cups. I mean, you really wish that there was a better way that you could do this. So it feels to me that you're trying to escape a situation, like get out of a situation that you have been trying to for a very long time. And it's almost like you have to completely cut your ties for it to happen. And it's hard because you've got some deep kind of emotional attachment to this person, or you've got some attachment. I don't know if it's emotional. Well, it is emotional because you had the Eight of Cups. So yeah, and then you've got the Five of Cups here. But there has to be some kind of like clean break, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to move on to do what you're supposed to do, because there's a real need to make a new, fresh start. Honestly, it feels like somebody who's trying to escape some kind of toxic relationship. And I've had a lot of experience with women in DV, so it's just kind of, it's really interesting. Not to say that that's your situation, but that's what it reminds me of. Okay, let's have a look at some oracle cards. So what the universe is basically saying, this is an urgent message from the universe to tell you what the universe really wants you to hear, is that you're doing well in trying to get away from this, but it may not be as easy as you think. So you need to like persevere with the fact that you're doing it. Okay, faith. I don't know, maybe some of you are thinking that you can't break away from this. You're thinking, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to like deal with this or break away from this kind of like idea. Disruption reversed. Maybe you think that it will be disruptive, like if you do it, but actually the ease that will happen will be very, it won't be as bad as you think it is going to be, It's actually going to be easier than you think. Wow. Okay, that's really interesting. Pile 1's message was a bit longer than Pile 2's. Let's see. Wow, blue moon. So I mean, there is definitely a feeling of that you don't believe that it's going to happen. You really don't. Maybe you're really wishing that you're really wishing that there was some kind of different thing happening, but it's, you're just thinking it's not going to happen. Continue to persevere with it, because it really will. It really will. And you have to believe a little bit in miracles. Okay. To close out the reading, wow, the Lover. Okay, so it's safe to surrender to the good feelings, Aphrodite, passion, and abundance. So I think what that's saying is that you deserve that. You really do deserve that. And the candle just went out as well. So I think like if you don't believe that you deserve it, I think that that's something to think about. You should definitely deserve it. And you should definitely get into the mindset that you do deserve it. Because if you don't, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to, you know, manifest what you want. And also just step into that sense of power. But I don't know, like sometimes it's really difficult for us to believe that we deserve that. And that's why the procrastination is there. You know, I think even though something is ultimately really good for us, we don't really believe we can achieve it. And I think it's really important that we have to grow that muscle and get comfortable with that. And the only way that can be done is by perseverance and kind of continuing to do it. So persevere, Pile 2, persevere and keep on going. It's all part of the process. I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you liked it, please, please, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, and if you wish to share, please do so in the comments. But otherwise, have a beautiful morning, evening, night, day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Hello, my beautiful Pile 3s. How are you doing? Good, I hope. So, an urgent message from the universe. What the universe wants to say to you right now, or a message that needs to get to you right now. Let's have a look. Indira Gabbro. I really love this stone. It's got this gorgeous, there's like a slight luminescent sheen. I don't know if you can just about see that. You might not be able to. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. But it's also known as Mystic Merlinite. But there's something kind of unknown about this stone. It's almost like very 8th house, 12th house, and actually more 12th house energy, I think. Plutonian / like it says it's one thing, but then it sometimes isn't. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? Those little like flickers of, there we go. Those little flickers of luminescence. They look banging. Like, I mean, like, there's something that is very attractive about you. And I think you're starting to find that out about yourself. You're starting to recognize parts of yourself that you really like. You may not have liked it previously, but now you're starting to be like, wow, actually, I'm a bit of a badass, and I really enjoy that about myself. And I'm starting to, and it feels like you're starting to recognize those things about yourself. And because you're doing that, it's helping you to be a little bit more sure of yourself, give you more power. There's just something that's helping you to become more of this mystic or I mean, you don't have to be somebody that does tarot cards, tarot reading, any kind of like, you know, esoteric stuff, but it's just almost as if you're starting to realize your own power and the beauty within yourself a bit more. And that's helping you to become an even stronger person. Love it. Oh, wow. Health. So I don't know. Maybe you've been doing some things, Pile 3, that help you to be a little bit more healthful, healthy. Maybe you've changed your diet. Maybe you're doing some things to like really take into account about what you're doing. Yeah, it feels like that. Okay, so let's have a look. I don't know, maybe you're starting to go to the, like, you're starting to check yourself out, get things done, like maybe like things getting checked out that you hadn't got checked out previously. We've also got number 8 there as well, 71. So that is the number of strength. It's also a fantastic number of completion. And I've also just had the candle just go out. So I will just, we had the star there, so I will just relight the candle. So with that being said, let's have a little look at what this is trying to say. Interesting. I will take the upright card. So we've got the Emperor, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Needles. Okay, so reversed. So what I'm getting here, pile pile 3, interesting. Go and check out pile 1 if you feel need to look at that. I think you're realizing that anything that is negative towards yourself, including like being critical towards yourself, is actually detrimental to your own sense of power, right? I think it's really important because we've got the Emperor, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. There's a real turn of events that's caused you to like reassess something. I don't know. I'm just getting the feeling that it could have been quite not a very nice event. And actually you've managed to turn it on its head. Let's have a look. Queen of Needles reversed, Nine of Matches reversed, which is the Nine of Wands reversed. And then our last card for now is the Queen of Matches, right? The Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're really transforming this situation. Yeah, I know we don't have death here, but it's the Wheel of Fortune, so something has turned. It's transformed because it's changed. But I don't know, you're still like smack talking yourself, it looks like. And like here we've got struggle and paranoia. That's really interesting. And fatigue. Okay. So basically smack talking yourself is really, really like detrimental to your health, and you have to really talk yourself up. You have to rizz yourself up. Sorry, I'm using all of these terms that I've just, kind of gotten from the youth of today. But yeah, so basically, there's some real kind of authority that you are starting to express within your life. And I think that there's an opportunity for you to do that, because I think that, you're realizing that you have to take charge of something. When we're not just talking about kings, we're talking about the Emperor. We're talking about of your emotions, of your thoughts, of your drive, and also of your finances and who you are in this reality. So there's something very important about that. And then you've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is almost like this is your time. So in a way, I think that this is like the if you are attracted to pile 1, I would definitely check that out, because it seems like pile 1 was the precursor, and now this is what you're moving into. But there is this real alertness here, and it's really interesting because that looks like a camera. Is it a camera or is it a barometer? What is that? It's a very dry. Yeah, that it looks like a camera, but it's not. It's a barometer. So what a barometer, for those of you that don't know, is something that tells the weather. So it tells you when it's going to rain. It used to be this thing that had this dial, and it could tell you like when it was going to rain or when it was going to be sunny. Yeah, that's what it was. Because here it's got very dry. What does that say? Stormy, fair, rain. Yeah, it's got all of those kind of things on it. So what I'm getting here is that when you start to smack talk yourself, or not be very good towards yourself, or be cold of heart even towards other people, it actually sets your barometer out of whack. So it means that you are not really able to correctly gauge a situation. In fact, you end up like losing a sense of perspective, and then that also in a way may affect like other things. I wouldn't say it directly affects your health, but the thing is that health comes under, like, there's so many things. There's your mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health. There's all of it. So this is like, this is saying that this affects everything. So you have to, I think there's a real awareness that your mental state is really important to this, or your thoughts, you're just paying attention to those things and making sure that you're good, so that you can radiate that. Because the Nine of Matches, I think there's the sense of like, it could be that you stop being defensive. But it also could be that you're so defensive that you find that you can't move or you can't walk or you can't do anything. And I'm getting a bit of that. But then I'm also getting the fact that with this Queen of Matches here, there's either someone in your life that helps you to see the good in yourself and reminds you of the power that you have, or you end up going through phases where you realize it and then you sink back into that space where you don't believe it. So there's a bit of that going on. So the universe, what this message is trying to tell you is that your health, in whatever context you want to know, as I said, your mental health, physical health, spiritual health, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional health, all of like the holistic sense of health within the human being is dependent upon how you are viewing yourself, how you are mentally seeing yourself. Okay, that's a pretty strong message, pile 3. God, I'm resonating with all the piles today. Oh, okay, right. So this whole reading has been a journey, I'll tell you. All of the readings are like, I love you so much, my collective, because, these readings, they reflect me as well. Like, I feel that I go on this journey with you as I do these readings. So sometimes more intimately than others, but right now I'm feeling it. Because this has been a really difficult reading to do. King of Wands right here. We got, wow, okay, we've got 9 of Cups reversed. You know how to get things done. You know what to do. It's not, and this, we've got what's here underneath? Okay, the Emperor. So it's the fire element that's kind of coming through. So it's really important that you remember that you've done this before. You know how to do this. You know how to do shit. You know how to make magic. You know how to be the Emperor. And this is not about gender at all. The Emperor archetype is the masculine, which is the initiatory kind of like, the positive charge, in the respect, when I say positive and negative, it means that, like, you need those two different things of a battery in order for it to work. You can't make a battery, like, it can't be positive and positive. It needs to be, you need both sides for it to, like, like, yeah. You know what I mean? So the masculine side, the positive side, the driving force, those masculine qualities are very strong. You've got them. Oh my God, that came up. I think the same place for pile 2. I think you wanted it to happen faster, but it hasn't. It's been something that's been a gradual thing. And I think there's been pressure you have put on yourself to make things happen, or you may have thought that things would have happened sooner and they haven't done. Wow, Wheel of Fortune twice, my friends. Wheel of Fortune twice. So if any of you have had something that's happened to you in terms of like some medical thing, or I don't want to say that, okay, forget that about the medical thing. I think that the perspective is going to be really important for you to like envisage something. And well, it is clarifying the Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords reversed. Perspective is everything, my friends. Perspective is everything. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to offend anyone. But it just reminds me of this TED talk that I saw with this guy who had been born with the affliction of where his arms were like, he didn't have his arms, he only had his hands, and then like little short stubby parts for his feet. And he went around doing TED Talks about his condition and about how it's made him like the most active person. Like he does talks all over the world to like kids and schools all over the world, and he's like a really amazing person. And it's something like that I'm feeling, that, you know, sometimes we think that something that happened is really bad, but, you know, there's something that's in there. There's something that's in there for this to teach us something. But don't come for me. I'm just saying it's an example, you know. I could totally be wrong. Do you know what I mean? Okay, right. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. We've got the Wheel of Fortune twice, and then we've got Judgment. It's a choice. You've got to, it's up to you, right? And the thing is that I don't think you've got any choice. I say it's a choice, but it's not actually. It's a calling. Like, I think that you will just rise to the occasion no matter what. This is really amazing, this reading, actually. Lovely way to finish it off. And the Chariot, Jesus Christ. Okay, right, so... And it's not even... I've got courage. It's so interesting. Wow, look at those keywords. I don't know if you can see that, but just the keywords that are just popping up there for me. So we've got King of Wands with authority. We've got Destiny with the Eight of Wands reversed. We've got Cold of Heart, which is the Wheel of Fortune with luck and change. And then we've got Fatigue with Judgment. And then we've got Courage for the Chariot. So what that's saying to me is that it's taking courage for you to drive this force forward. It's taking courage for you to take up the reins and go forward, to balance these energies in the correct way, to do what you've got to do. It's because you're so tired of what's been going on, and you really have to, like, you can't continue on the way that you've been doing things. You know that you have to change things. So this could be a whole kind of mindset paradigm that you are just changing, because you know that now that things have to change, because if they don't, then you are fucked. You're doing it in a completely different way that no one has ever, like, you know, you're carving your own path. You're doing your own thing. You're not listening to anybody else. And I think another thing I read as well, like, you know, a lot of people, they listen to people who are not doing the thing. They need to go and go and shut up, because it's nothing to do with them. It's nothing to do with them. And even if the person, even if you're like, you know, doing something that other people haven't done before, you need to just you're doing something that other people have done before, and then you're getting advice off of them. You just have to be aware that, like, you know, the way that they did things are going to be very different to the way that you do things. I had someone advise me on my tarot channel in terms of like what I need to do in order to make, you know, more subscribers, more things. Like, maybe I need to like change the style of what I'm doing. And then I just thought to myself, my experience in television and film is that the more that you just you are who you are, you play characters the way that you play them, and you do the things that you're supposed to do in your own way, the more that you'll actually be desired and more employable. Actually, I'll give you a really good example. So in the Lord of the Rings films, I just watched Andy Serkis, who played Gollum. He, you know, they had gone through loads of auditions to get Gollum, like to get the character of Gollum. But what had happened was that it was really interesting, because I heard some of the tapes and the readings of Gollum. But then the minute that Andy Serkis like took the character and he did something really interesting with the character. Not only did he make it his own, but he actually reflected the inner workings of Gollum throughout the voice, like completely transforming himself. So he was just totally unrecognizable as the character. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell that was Andy Serkis, basically. And even with prosthetics, like the voice, everything was just completely different. And by doing that, right, not only did he completely reprogram the mindset of Peter Jackson, who's the director of the Lord of the Rings films, in terms of his interpretation of the character, Andy Serkis created a whole genre of ways of doing motion capture. So it led on to the Planet of the Apes films, it led on to King Kong, it led on to other films that have involved, and I think even Avatar as well. So you've got this whole thing where, you know, he did his own thing, but if he had thought, oh yeah, I need to be like this more, he would have got nowhere. But instead he did. And I recently watched an interview with him about how he inspired some actors, and I got the chance to see it live, and he's an incredible actor, and it's really inspirational to hear that he's inspired a whole new generation of actors and a generation and a genre of acting. So that's why it's really important for you to do your own thing, to carve your own path. The Guru, the Emperor, the King of Wands, the Chariot, Judgment, Wheel of Fortune twice. And it's going to be a slow process. It's not going to be, but it's not going to be that slow, right? It's just going to take a while to get going. Because the thing is that people, when they're not welcome to change. People don't like change. They absolutely don't like change. Anybody who tells you that they like change is bullshitting you. Sorry. They're bullshitting you. Everybody likes things to be the same thing. They're like, oh God, change. No. And people don't like change. And if they tell you that they do, I think they're lying. They know it's needed, right? They know it's needed, but they don't like it. And trust me, I'm one of those people. Like, I totally think that who the hell likes, like, I don't want my nice, comfortable situation to be gone. But actually, it's for the better. And then that means you're growing. Oh, actually, that reminds me of a really beautiful song. It hurts because you're growing. And that's Sev Deliza, Soul Sinkable. So, yeah. And I used to say things like, oh, I really love change. You know, it's so good. Oh, my God. And then I look at certain things and I'm like, shit, do I really love change? Like, or am I like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, what's going on? But yeah, so don't come for me. Honestly, I'm just saying. Okay, right, 7 of Cups. Wheel of Fortune is clarified. No, the Judgment is clarified by the King of Swords. And the Chariot is clarified by the Queen of Swords. That's better. Jeez. Okay, right. So if you're not in a relationship, I think this will definitely like bring about some kind of relationship for you. It will definitely help you to connect deeper and find more people that are like you. I do also think, I do think that there is something about a relationship here, because this is divine counterparts. Wow. Well, I mean, you know, this kind of mirrors exactly the 9 of Swords. It says exactly what I was mentioning about people that don't, you know, about not liking change. You may know that it's necessary for the change, but whether or not you're ready to embrace it or not is a whole nother cake to eat. So, and that's what that's saying here. Because it means that you think about the possibilities. There's this procrastination. All the readings really link in really well. So if you're attracted to any of the other readings, do go and watch them, because they're really cool. They all seem to kind of like run in together. But I think that what the universe is trying to say is that everything is on the other side of your fear, Pile 3. You're in a really good position. Don't miss the signs that are telling you very clearly that it's time to move forward and make choices and decisions that really kind of reflect the gravitas of your evolution. Because I think there may be a possibility that you are like, you know, the things of the past, oh, I still want to hang on to that. But actually, you've totally outgrown them. And now you're in a position where you can really step forward into your power. Beautiful readings, actually, all of them, about stepping into your power and being able to like really move forward. And even if this isn't a relationship, it means that you've got the male and the female like energies completely balanced in the mental realm. So it's kind of like saying that you've got the groundwork really, really good in order to like go forward. But you have to be aware that You know, you need to put your thoughts and your energy in the right place. More so your thoughts. Like, even if it is like you getting a good night's sleep at night, you need to work on that. You need to be really mindful of how you can change that. And believe that you can change it. Do you know what I mean? Because if you don't, then, yeah, we're back here. And another thing as well I'm going to say here, I think you're realizing that love isn't always, like, it isn't just as simple as just like, oh, it's just about love. Because I know, right, if we get on like a kind of like existential level, yeah, love is very important. But I think it's really important to understand that you need other principles and values in place. And I think that's what's happening. It needs to be kind of the root needs to be love. And then everything grows from that, you know? Okay, let's have a look at some of these cards. Okay, wow, magic. This is so cool. This reading is so cool. You are just amazing, pile 3. You're just, oh, look at you, and you got 3 cards. Yeah, this is like, you really understand like how to manifest things. But I think your head gets in the way, and it's a mastery of your mind. You know, real true mastery of mind that will help you to move forward in this way. And I think what the message here is that you've got everything you need. You just need to have the courage to move forward. Abundance. It's waiting for you. Ideation. Yeah, kick that in the bin. Because, you know, when we start to ideate or like have some kind of sense of ideation about things that, you know, what we could possibly do. I mean, it's not about not having a good, like, affirmation vision. It's not about that. Ideation is about, like, maybe things tinged with envy, or maybe wishing that there was something, because we did have the 9 of Cups reversed. So maybe this sense of wishful thinking, you know, rather than actually thinking about something that is tangible. Because that's another thing as well with the with this whole law of attraction malarkey. Like, you've got to believe that you can actually do it. If you believe it's true, then it will happen. If you don't believe it's true, then it's not going to happen. You have to be really, you have to pay attention to that. So for example, like, you know, that whole thing, like, if you think that you can get £1 million tomorrow, you make the affirmation, oh yeah, I wish that I get £1 million in my bank account tomorrow. But if you don't honestly believe, like, where you're going to get it from, like, you know, and you don't trust that you're going to get it, it's not going to happen. Absolutely not. Why should it? But if you do believe that there's a possibility that you might get, like, say, maybe a £5 from somewhere, or, like, you know, maybe you might find $20 in the street, or a £20 note in the street. That's very, you know, it's believable. You want to have believable things in terms of your scope. But you know what I get here, though? I get that it's actually quite high. Like, I think that if it was like, oh yeah, like, I could get something that's worth a lot of money, I think you could do it. But I don't know, that Queen of Wands reversed, Queen of Swords reversed tells me that you don't believe it to a certain extent. And that is the key to you being able to fixing it, to working it out. Because you're here at the 9. But it's the mental state that is fucking you up. So there's something there. Wow. So we've got distortion upright, but it's reversed. Sorry, we've got distortion here. That's what it looks like. But it's reversed. So I think that you're thinking about the wrong things. Pile 3, I think that there's some kind of attachment to something that you're fixating on. And it needs to be sorted out. That's what the universe wants to say. Okay. Let's see what these cards have to say. To close out your wonderful reading. It's such a great reading. This whole set has been such a good set of readings. I've loved it. I've learned so much from it. Oh, I love this. Blessings and curses. So blessing, psyche, self-love and beauty. Do not be ashamed of your roots, of your thorns or of your flowers. And it's 21. So that is the world, or 3. So what I get from that is that, you know, everything, like I said with the Indigo Gabbro, like you're starting to love yourself a bit more. And I think the more that you drop into that, the more powerful you're going to become. Like the more you love, like your thorns and your roses, that's really going to help you be more generally healthy and radiate that sense of health, you know. Pile 3, gorgeous reading. I hope you liked it. I really loved this one. This was my favorite. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, have a beautiful morning, evening, night and day whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye.